Alright, in this video, we're going to be talking about the importance of developing your listening skills. You cannot be a good communicator if you just know how to talk to people. If you want to really be a proficient communicator, you need to be an exceptional listener. You need to be a really good listener. And I know in the past, I used to think that I just kind of found it weird. Why are people interested in hearing my opinion or hearing stuff about me when it has nothing to do with their life or their personal interest? And obviously, it's because there's a certain bond, there are relationships, it's society, it's how it works. But at the end of the day, it's one realization that I had, one quote that I read. The realization was kind of drawn from the quote. If I'm not mistaken, it was by Thomas Edison. And it goes along the lines of, in my walks, every man I meet is my superior in some way, and in that I learn from him or her. And this is very powerful because each and every person you meet in your life, there is a certain area where they have more experience than you. There's something that they know about more than you do. And in that, you can learn from them. I was at a point in my life 5-6 years ago where I wasn't really interested in listening to people much because what's the point? They're just gonna listen to somebody talking about some random stuff and I'm just sitting there like, okay, and now what? They finished whatever they had to say and now what? But then when I changed my perspective that by listening to that person, maybe I can learn something new. Maybe I can learn something that I never expected to learn. Maybe I'm going to have this big, holy light bulb moment and I'm going to realize something, right? It all ties back to the idea that every single person you meet might know something that you don't currently know. And this ties back to the idea that you need to be interested in other people for them to feel that you are interesting too. There's this other quote that I ran across a while back. I'm not sure if I might mistake some words, but it goes along the lines that interesting people are interested. If you want to be interesting, you got to be interested. Because if you're not interested in the other person, they're not going to be interested in you. But if you show your interest in them, then they will show their interest in you. And when we talk about listening skills, we're not just talking about what they said. You don't just want to listen to what they're saying, but also to what they're not saying. And I know this might be really confusing. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that you need to develop your listening skills, not to just be able to hear what they said, but you want to be able to read them between the lines. Oftentimes, we say something just as a cover to kind of mask something else that we really wanted to say. When you're talking to someone, your partner, your friend at work, anybody, a stranger, and you ask them, "How was your day?" And they say, "It was all right." For you to be an effective listener, you automatically know that when somebody says, "It was all right," looking down, hunching their back, you need to read in between the lines. Even though they said it was all right, it probably wasn't. Something happened, but they want to see, that's why people don't immediately say, "I had an awful day, this happened and that happened, oh my God, my life's coming to an end." No. Especially when the relationship is still fresh, most people will try to mask it because they don't trust you enough, and their subconscious brain wants to see if you are somebody who they can trust, somebody they can open up to. So when they say, "It was all right," and you just brush this off and say, "That's amazing, I had an awesome day," you're going to be like, this person is so non-empathetic, they don't really care, they can't really see that I'm having an awful day. When you develop your listening skills, you need to get to a point where you don't just listen to what they're saying, but you can read what's in between the lines. You can read what they're actually feeling. And when you do that, it's a completely different story. They say, it was all right. And you look at them and you say, it seems like you're a bit upset about something. And they're like, oh my God, I just said to this person, it was all right. And they were able to notice that there was something wrong. They care enough that they were listening, that they noticed there might be something wrong. And in that, you start developing relationships. You start developing a bond. You start developing trust. People will see that you're interested in them, and therefore, they will start being interested in you. Interesting people are interested. Keep in mind that in your walks, every single person you meet is your superior in one way or another. And in that, show interest, and you will learn from them. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's hop on to the next one.